We'll talk to them first and see if we can come up with a plan going forward, and then a call to the parents will be made. When it's a cooperative parent, it's really a lot easier to work with it. When it's parents that have already thrown up their hands and said, I can't do anything with them, they're yours when they're at school, then it's much more difficult to help the kid correct his or her behavior.
We have found that that carrot and stick combination is essential because we're able to divert probably 70-some% of our kids.
In most cases, I have been able to make contact with the majority of the families. They're very open to sitting down with me and listening to what I have to say, very willing to cooperate with me, and 99% of the cases I have seen a change in their attendance, and a very good change for that matter. I have had kids that have been referred to me with 12, 13 unexcused absences. At the end of the 3 months, that's how long they are in my program, normally 3 months, they are down to 0 unexcused absences. So that makes my job more rewarding. There is no such thing as a bad kid. They just need to know what they have to do.
Number one reason our kids were missing school was drugs and alcohol. Second reason is mental health. So that's like depression, school phobia, anxiety. Last year we saw a kind of a really interesting anomaly in our data where it showed that family issues spiked to number one. And then homelessness spiked as well. That's not surprising given the economic times, but these are self-identified problems of truancy from parents. So parents were identifying themselves as part of the problem versus historically it's always been the child.
Sitting down with them, listening to maybe some of the barriers that they might have, like I said, transportation, language barrier, not a connection. Who do I connect with? A lot of issues. We work with them and try to set it up. And I let the families know, if for some reason the kids missed the bus, I could definitely go pick them up and take them to school. I'd rather they get there late than not get there at all. And I let them know I'm not a taxi, so it can't happen too often, but I will do it now and then. And you know, that changes. When I let them know that, it seems like they're getting to school on the bus. And I don't know if it's because the kids said, no, I don't want her to pick me up. But I've had to do it very few times, and the kids are getting to school.
Because eventually we want this person to be a contributor to the community. We want this young person to be a contributor to society. And when they don't have a high school diploma, they're more of a taker. And we want them to be givers back as well. And without that high school diploma, that's not going to happen. And sometimes they say, well, I shouldn't have fooled around so much. And sometimes the response is, well, I'm never going to get done, so I'm going to quit.
Once they improve their attendance, I'm finding that parents are more involved with the school. They participate more in the school with the kids. The kids show more interest because they're there and they're learning. But if you have all these unexcuses, you're not learning like all the other kids. You know, you're getting behind, and it's hard for them to catch up. So yeah, I don't think one can go without the other. We have to work hand in hand.
I always say to parents, do I want their kid in school and to graduate? I do. But more importantly, I want them to be successful adults. And it is very difficult to be a successful adult when you don't know how to read or write, when you don't have a basic education, when you don't have your mental health needs met, and you're struggling with chemicals. So if we can do that through our program and graduate those kids and try to meet those needs of those kids prior for them being adult on their own, then I think we're hugely successful. And not only are we going to have a productive citizen, we're not going to have somebody coming back who's going to end up in jail. So